Hey, what's going on, True Fam? Welcome back to the channel. It's Whiteshadow, and today, guys, we've got another awesome microphone shootout for you guys today. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright guys, so like I said, we are taking the Beyerdynamic Fox and pitting it against yet another USB microphone, this time a $47 USB mic that you can get off Amazon. You guys know this microphone, we did a review of it. It's called the Fifine K670. It's a sweet little microphone for all of you starters out there. And we're going to see what a $149 mic sounds like against a $47 mic. It's less than it's a little bit more than $100 difference between the two, but let's see what the differences are and which one sounds a little bit crispier. Alright guys, so we are starting off with the Fox first. All of the audio you hear is coming from the Fox. We will get to the K670 a little bit later when I start talking about what I like between the two, but for now we're going to talk about the similarities and the differences between these two microphones, starting with the similarities. So there are very few similarities between these two, and it's basically just really the basic stuff. They're both large diaphragm condenser style microphones. They both are USB. They don't need any drivers. I mean, they both come with stands, USB cables, all of that stuff. And they are both made of actually pretty high quality materials for the price that you pay for each of these. Similarities are very bare between these two microphones, and at first glance you're like, wow, they're both USB microphones. What could be so different between the two? Let's talk about the differences between the two, starting with the Beyerdynamic. You've got a huge resolution, so that's 24-bit 96,000 hertz resolution alongside of a really fat frequency response of 20 hertz all the way up to 20,000 hertz. Big, huge broad range there. Most of your condenser mics on the market are going to have that frequency range. It's also got high quality build material. This is a little bit heavier gauge construction than the K670. This is 100% built right there in Germany, and you can definitely tell there's some German craftsmanship going on with this microphone. Fantastic build quality. It's got a little bit larger of a dynamic range. I know this is 130 decibels of dynamic range versus 120 over here. This matches the Blue Yeti. And on the front of it, you do have more controls. You have the mute button, you have the volume and mixing knob for the headphone monitoring, it has zero latency headphone monitoring, and a gain switch around back. A little bit differences there as far as the controls go. It also comes with a pop filter, whereas this one does not. This is also USB Type-C, which allows for that higher resolution than the K670 can offer. And honestly, this offers a higher resolution than most other USB microphones on the market, so the Beyerdynamic is kind of future-proofed in that aspect. And like I said, you get all of this for $149. So we're right up there with the Blue Yeti, we're right up there with the Rode NT1 USB, whereas the differences with the K670 are as follows. So with the K670, you are getting a 50 Hz to 15,000 Hz frequency response, and that's a lot different than the 20 to 20,000 Hz that we're used to seeing on condenser mics. $47 though, keep that in mind here. It's got a USB Type-B connector. It doesn't have the resolution that this one has. I don't know the exact resolution of this one, but my guess is it's 16-bit. That's what it says on the website, but 48,000 Hz. That's kind of normal. I think this matches the Yeti from what my testing and what I've seen. They don't really list the hertz response of that resolution there. They only say it's 16-bit. So my guess would be 48,000 hertz. That's normal for 16-bit, but you don't get the same resolution that the Fox has. Doesn't have any other controls, so there's no mute button, there's no mixing, there's no gain control or anything like that on this mic. It's all done via the software, but you do have a volume knob for the zero latency headphone monitoring. You can also use this as like a little headphone plug for running it through your PC too. That's kind of cool, and it does offer the playback that most zero latency headphone monitoring systems offer. It's not bad. I've tried it. Nothing to write home about. It's not as good as the Fox, but it's there if you need it. Alright guys, so what we're going to do now is we're going to switch over to the K670 so you guys can hear the tonality difference between these two microphones. And keep in mind there's a huge price difference between the two, but I think you're going to be kind of surprised at what the K670 has to offer, even for not being the same frequency response and resolution and all of that fun stuff. Alright guys, so that about wraps it up for like the differences and the similarities between these two mics. Keep in mind all of the audio up to this point has been with the Beyerdynamic Fox. We're going to go ahead and switch over to the K670 now, so you guys can hear the tonality differences between the two. Alright guys, so we have switched over to the K670 here. All of the audio you hear from this point until the end of the video will be recorded with the K670. Let's go ahead and talk about what is so great about both of these microphones and kind of the benefits of purchasing either one. The theme of the video has been start with the Beyerdynamic. We're going to stick with that. Let's start with the Beyerdynamic here. The Beyerdynamic, you guys have heard me talk about this mic a lot over the past couple days. It's a fantastic USB microphone. Really future-proofed, offers a lot of great customization as far as software and hardware goes here. It comes with a pop filter. I mean, that's a great addition right out of the box, especially for streamers that like to keep the mic right in front of them. And for those of you that don't know what a pop filter does, that kind of cuts down on those plosives. So when you're talking to it directly into the mic, you say the P's and that blows a burst of air. This cuts down on that, and it's a nice feature to have included in the box, and it just snaps right on. It's easy. It's easy to use. The Beyerdynamic is such a joy to use. I mean, it's easy, it's plug and play. You don't have to do a lot of fixing the tonality of it. I mean, you can edit all of this stuff in OBS, keep that in mind. It's just a good microphone. I do wish the USB cable was a little bit longer. That's kind of one downfall of the mic, but that's easily fixed. That doesn't take away anything from the microphone itself. The Fox is, in my opinion, one of the new benchmarks of what a USB mic should be going forward, especially for content creators, and that's kind of what this mic is marketed towards, is towards content creators. Streaming especially, streaming and YouTube especially, but it's a multi-use mic. You can use it for whatever you want, but we like to tend to focus on streaming here. And for streaming, it's awesome. It's got great rear ejection, it's got a great tonality to it, it's got a nice frequency response, and that resolution, that dynamic range and resolution are fantastic for voices of any type. It just sounds really pleasing over a set of headphones, over a set of speakers. It's just a good microphone. That brings me to the Fifine. This is a very surprising microphone for 47 bucks. Color me impressed. Like I said in my review video, this thing really surprised me with the tonality of it. In my opinion, it sounded better than a Blue Yeti. Even the frequency response, and on paper, it doesn't look like it's going to match up to a mic of this caliber, but it does. And that was interesting to me because 47 bucks versus $129, $140. Like, it's crazy what they've done with this microphone. Granted, it's not going to destroy a microphone twice or three times its price range. No, it's a good starter mic. It's a fantastic starter mic, and honestly, it's a mic that's going to last you a long time. I know a couple other people, after I put that review out, went out and bought this thing and use it now, and their audio quality is great. Granted, the resolution isn't there. Granted, the dynamic range isn't there. But for $47, guys, 47 bucks, like, you get a great little package, and it's a surprising little gem that I kind of stumbled upon on Amazon. Fifine's great, Beyerdynamic's great. You can't really go wrong with either of these mics. But guys, that about does it for this video. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, guys. And thank you for taking a look at this video. And be sure to leave that comment in the comment section below telling me which of these microphones wins the face-off or the shootout or whatever the heck you want to call it. If you guys want to check me out on social media, all of that stuff is in the description below. Be sure to check out my Twitch stream. We are starting a podcast. It's called the Twitch Tech Podcast. I've hinted around at this all week long, and I finally announced it on stream last night. We are starting a Twitch Tech Podcast where I go super in depth with all of the stuff that we talk about here on YouTube. Be sure to follow TRUgaming and check out Stream Key and all of the other podcasts that they have going on over there as well. And be sure to check out our sponsored streamers. If you go to TRUgaming.com, go to the community section, you'll see the list of all of our guys and girls there. All awesome streamers, and I would love if you guys checked them out and tell them that Whiteshadow sent you. But that about does it for this video, guys. Like I said, be sure to hit that subscribe button on your way out, and I'll see you in the next video. Whiteshadow out.